It's been called the silent crisis and an epidemic. The rate of depression and suicide in our boys and young men.
Well, this week on 4 News Now, we've been looking into why it's happening and what we can do to help. In tonight's Saving Our Sons special report, Robin Nance sat down with gender expert Dr. Michael-Gurian of Spokane, who's written 32 books, including one titled Saving Our Sons.
I would definitely agree with the Surgeon General and the CDC. I think it is an epidemic it's a mental health epidemic.
Dr. Gurian has studied male and female behaviors, dynamics, and brains for decades. Some of the biggest issues he's seeing with mental health issues in our boys and young men center around changes in the environment, society, and nurturing.
The way that we treat males now, we just don't really support boys in growing up to become men.
Over the years, he's seen a shift in parenting and the way boys are treated in schools. The trend has been to make boys more like girls, even referring to them as defective girls.
You know, we'd like really them to be more like girls in the way they talk, the way they emote, the way they act in school.
Boys are disciplined more, they're repressed, and that turns into frustration and can lead to inner struggles.
That and raising them well. So, of course, we have many problems: depression, anxiety, violence, a lot of violence. And so it's been building for many decades.
There are things parents, teachers, and anyone in child development can do to help change the course for our boys. Dr. Gurian will be giving some real-life tools at the Helping Boys Thrive Summit this Saturday.
If you are worried about your son's mental health right now, he says there are 3 things you can do. Number 1, get them off of screens. At least get screen time down to an appropriate limit for their age and development.
A lot of anxiety and depression that we're seeing in our teens now is connected, at least in part, to screens and to the way the dopamine is being affected in the brain.
Number 2, watch for social isolation. Are they staying in their room, not participating in usual activity, losing friends? And number 3, seek the right kind of help.
See that your child is having trouble, like especially with boys, interview those counselors, just like interviewing the schools, to see if they understand males. Does the counselor work with adolescent boys?
These points are just scratching the surface of how we can help boys and young men. Dr. Gurian has written 32 books, has a website full of information, and has a podcast. We'll link his information on this story on KXLY.com. In Spokane, I'm Robin Nance, 4 News Now.
The Helping Boys Thrive Summit will take place all day Saturday at Summit Church at 29th in Pittsburgh.
And there's still time to register. You can find a link to inside this story on KXLY.com. And there's a lot more to this issue that we don't have the time to include on TV, but we have made it readily available for you anytime you want. All you have to do, download the KXLY Plus app, and you'll find these stories as well as exclusive content about this important issue that you won't find anywhere else.